Hello CraftDee family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So CraftDee. For today's video, I will be introducing the new Cricut Bright 360 lamp and show you how I use it to help me create some easy DIY projects. Now this is the newest product release from Cricut, and it comes packed with features that will be a must-have for any crafter or creator. Now I do want to give a special thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video, and I hope that you enjoy seeing how I use this awesome product to assist me in my crafting space. Now before we start, I have to say hey to all of my subscribers. And if you are a new visitor to my channel today, I hope you consider subscribing as well. Now I'm so excited to share more about this new product, but first let's jump into our first DIY project. Now this project is a decorative removable pillow cover. Now for this project, I'm going to be using a insertable pillow form, and this one is 16 by 16. You can pick these up at most craft stores if you want to, or you can use a pillow that you have on hand for this project. So what I did is I cut a piece of my decorative fabric and I made it the size 16 by 16, the same size as your pillow. Now I also did cut two extra pieces, and this is for the back of my pillow, and I cut these 16 by 11. Now how I came up with this is that I divided the pillow size in half, which is 8, and added 3. So one side will be 16 and the other side will be 11 for each piece. So I am going to be pressing a seam on these, so I got my pressing pad out, and I'm going to be double folding a 1/2 inch seam on one side, which is the long side of the back cover. Now I am taking my light and I am adjusting it right over my craft area to make it nice and bright. So you just want to go ahead and press that seam. You can use an iron, and in my case I have my Cricut mini press here all heated up and ready to go, and I'm going to fold it over once at a 1/2 inch and then fold it over again at a 1/2 inch to make a nice folded seam on one side of this back piece. And here it is, all nice and pressed. So now you just want to repeat this for your other piece until both pieces are nice and pressed and ready to bond together. Now there's a couple of ways that you can bond these. You can actually sew these, which I am going to do, but if you do not want to sew them, you can use some hot glue, which is actually fabric hot glue in a mini glue gun, and this is a good option if you don't want to sew. And then my preferred method if I don't want to sew is using Fabri-Tac. I love this product. It is strong, permanent, and this adhesive is flexible and washable. So this is my choice when I don't want to sew any of my projects. It's very strong. Now I am going to break out the old Singer for this project because I want my project to be nice and finished, and I'm going to show you step by step how I put this pillow cover together. So for this project, I am going to be using some gray thread just so you can see the stitches, but make sure you use a color thread that matches the color of your project. Now I just turned on my machine, and you can see the light came on the sewing base, but you can barely see it. I always struggle with this on this machine. So this is where the Cricut Bright 360 lamp is going to come into play, and this lamp will actually conform, it pivots and it rotates, and so I can have it as close or as far back from the machine as I like to when I sew, and it will light up the entire sewing area. So I have pivoted this lamp over to the back of my machine. You can see my entire area is nice and lit up so I can see what I'm working on in my project. So what I'm going to do is take that fabric piece and I'm going to stitch that double folded seam down close to the edge about 1/8 of an inch. Now I'm just going to adjust my stitch length, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just sew a nice straight seam all the way down. And here's my seam all stitched down and tacked down, and this is what it looks like. So now you just want to grab your other piece of fabric and you want to repeat the process. So here is the other piece, and now both of them are nice and stitched down. You want to make sure, of course, that you back stitch at each of one of the ends, but this is a nice, neat finish to the edge of your back pieces where your opening will be. So now we can start putting things together. So we want to first lay out our decorative fabric with the pretty side facing up. Now I'm going to adjust my lamp so my area is nice and bright to work with and I can see everything that I'm working on. So now you're going to grab those two back pieces and we are going to lay those on top of the pretty fabric. So we're going to put the side with the seam facing you, and then the seam is going to be towards the center. So we're going to line up the raw edge that you didn't stitch with the outside edge of the pillow as shown here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that other piece and we are going to lay it in the middle as well, and we're going to put that stitch seam in the middle with the raw edge facing the other side. So now your pieces overlap, and this is exactly how you want it to look, so you'll have a little opening in the middle to insert your pillow form when you're done sewing your project together. So now you can go ahead and pin them together or clip. I'm just using some little clips, and I'm going to clip all my pieces together all the way around. If you decide to glue this, this is the point where you will actually glue the layers together as they lay here. But since I am sewing, I'm going to go ahead and just pin them together or clip them together so I can use them in my project. Now I'm adjusting my light here so you can see my work and see what I'm doing, so you guys have a good idea of what I'm working on. So now that it's all pinned, we can start sewing everything together. So again, I adjusted my Cricut 360 lamp right there at my sewing area, and I'm going to start sewing. Now, the thing you want to keep in mind is when you start sewing these envelope style pillows together, you always want to backstitch over the areas that overlap where those seams will be where you open the pillow. This will give it some reinforcement, and you're just going to sew all the way around. No need to leave an opening because the opening is in the middle. So here it is. Everything is now all sewn together. You have that opening in the middle, and if you do, go ahead and take your serger and clean up those edges. But for the sake of time in this video, I'm going to do that a little later. But what I am going to do now is go ahead and clip those corners off, just to make sure that when you turn your pillow right side out, that they'll flip out and you'll have some nice pointed corners. So now you can go ahead and flip your pillow right side out, just making sure you poke out those corners first all the way around, and then flip it with the right side out where everything will lay nice and flat. So here it is. It's now flipped out right side out and everything looks great. I love how this pattern looks on here, and now you have this opening where you can insert your pillow form. So now I'm going to take my pillow form and I am going to insert it into my brand new pillow cover. Now all you have to do is just squeeze the pillow together. We're going to put it in that first side, flip it around, and then squeeze it into the other side. Now after the pillow is inside, we're just going to put our hand in that little opening and just smooth out all of that fabric, and it should fit nice and snug just the way we wanted it. And I love these pillow forms. So easy to whip up and they're so much fun. Now I did adjust my light here so you can get a better view of the pattern and what it looks like. So now what I did is I adjusted my light to record this staged part of the video, and this makes the colors so nice and bright. Now this pillow cover style is one of my favorites, and they're so easy to whip up on the sewing machine or bonding with a fabric safe glue. Now no matter which way that you choose, you will definitely save space by not having to store dozens of pillows when you want to change up your decor. So now I want to tell you guys about the Cricut Bright 360 lamp that is the featured item in this video today. Now if you're looking for lighting, this lamp will definitely check the box on so many features a crafter or creator may need in their space. Now here it comes. It's carefully packaged, and it's available in a table lamp and a floor lamp style that you can choose from based on your needs. And I am sharing the table lamp style with you guys today. Now I unboxed all the pieces, and what you have in there is the main lamp piece, and then it goes down to the counterweight and the stem that's all attached all together. It also includes a heavy-duty non-slip base. It also has a power cord included, and it has the packaged information with setup and safety information all included. Now, assembly for this is incredibly easy. It's only really 1 or 2 steps. So we are going to take the piece with the stem and the controls attached, and then we're going to insert the bottom of that stem right into the top stem of the base and just press it down until it clicks. Once it clicks into place, it is permanent and cannot be detached. So it's all one completed piece, and now this lamp is all assembled. Now at the bottom of the stem, you will see a little power cord outlet in the back. So we're just going to plug in the power cord to the bottom of the stem of that base of our table lamp. Now here are the lighting controls. Now on the bottom control, this one will turn on the lamp and controls the brightness. The top will adjust the warm and cool settings of the light, which is one of the most exciting features of this lamp. Now right above the stem, they have this counterweight, and what this does is give it the perfect balance to the lamp while you adjust all of the positioning. Now you go up the stem and then you reach the head of the lamp. Now this is a large lamp head with LED lights installed. It's about 9.5 inches, and the great thing is that these LED lights never need replacing. Now this is very flexible, it pivots, it rotates, and it glides around with ease. You can adjust this in so many ways to accommodate most of your projects, and that's one thing that I really love. Now showing you a full display of this, you'll see how it easily rotates the head around. It goes up and down, and you see that counterweight right there rotates with it. And I'm just going to gently push the lamp, and you can see that it just glides right around. So it's easy to adjust to get to your project and then up out of your way. It's just so easy to navigate, and I'm really loving this new design that Cricut has put out for this lamp. So now we're just going to turn on the light. So I turned on the bottom switch, and this is the warm setting. So what I did is I actually turned on the light and I'm turning on the brightness. So I'm going for light to the lightest to the darkest setting on the brightness. So now I'm going to work on the warm and cool, so you can see the difference between very warm and then going to very cool, which I think is really nice to use for your projects, and it gives you a lot less stress on the eyes. So now what we're going to do is to test out the lamp, and I'm going to turn off my room lighting just to see the lamp all in action and see how much lighting this actually gives off. So the first setting is I'm turning on the lamp, and this is adjusting the brightness, and it is currently on the warm setting. So I'm turning it on and off using the slider, and these are the levels of the brightness of the lamp. And now I'm adjusting the warm to the cool. So you could see how bright that this lamp gets, and you can see how much of your workspace that it illuminates. Now you could take the colors and lay them out on the table, and you can kind of see the variation when you use all the different settings of the lamp. So I put this down as a guide just to show you how you can choose the perfect setting for any color items that you are working on. Now I love that this light will illuminate 4 square feet of workspace, which is plenty, and it leaves your top of your workspace super bright. Now this lamp definitely hits the mark when it comes to reducing eye strain, especially when working with detailed projects. The warm and the cool adjustments are a plus and not only help with crafting, but they can help with reading and even photography and video. So now let's see how it helps out with the next project. Now this project is an elephant mandala decor. So what I went ahead and did is cut out a elephant mandala design with my Cricut machine, and it's really hard to see in the current lighting that I have. So that's when I grabbed the Cricut Bright 360 lamp and I turned it on. Now when I turned this lamp on, it immediately highlighted all of the cut lines in this intricate design. So this made the weeding process so much easier, and I didn't miss a beat. Every piece that needed to be weeded came out. Everything was highlighted very well when you work under the right light, and this lamp did come through for this effort. So here's the entire inside of my elephant, nice and weeded, and now I'm just going to remove the outside vinyl of the elephant as well so we could see the final project. So here is our elephant all nice and weeded, and you can see every piece and part was weeded correctly. So now to prepare it to go on our project, I'm going to put some transfer tape on top and make sure that that's burnished to the elephant really well, and then we can remove it from our Cricut mat. So I'm going to adjust the light so you guys can really see how bright that this gets, and you can see all of the beautiful details in this elephant mandala piece. Now we're going to flip it over and carefully remove the backing of the elephant from the design, where the design is now on our transfer tape. And I'm going to be applying mine to the back of a wood Dollar Tree puzzle. You can apply it to anything that you like, but this is what I'm going to use on mine because I wanted natural wood. You're just going to place that right on top, and then you are going to burnish it really well on that wood until it's nice and applied. Now once you're done burnishing, you want to carefully peel back your transfer tape to reveal your final design. I just think that this is so beautiful, and I really wanted it on natural wood. Of course, you could have stained your wood first, or afterwards you could paint or put the antique wax if you like. So now I'm adjusting the Cricut lamp to shoot this final setup, and it gives the perfect amount of illumination to make this design look amazing. Now this really made the weeding process so easy. Now I hope that these demonstrations today with the Cricut Bright 360 helped you today and gave you more inspiration when you go to seek out the perfect lighting to help you with your creativity. Listen, I hope that you found this video helpful today and that you are as excited as I am about this new product. Thank you again for Cricut for sponsoring today's video, and be sure to check out all of the details about the Cricut Bright 360, Cricut tools and materials, and so much more in the description box below. Now, as always, if you want to keep up with my creations, make sure that you're following She's So CraftDee on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. And if you're all about making high-end DIYs on a budget, make sure you're subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below, or just click on my She's So Crafty logo on your screen and make sure you hit that bell to be notified when the next DIY goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.